Pete Tong's Ibiza classic right here, right now. It's definitely on the playlist of my next guest, because in lockdown, when Leicester lawyer Kavita Varu couldn't celebrate her birthday with friends, she decided, she just took it into her own hands and decided she'd DJ herself. Kavita, since when? So we last spoke about that, gosh, it must be two and a bit years ago. It's all gone a bit crazy.
It definitely has. Thank you for having me, Ben. It's lovely to see you.
Okay, so remind us of that. So you couldn't have your birthday, so you thought, well, I'm going to dress up, I'm going to stick a glittery dress on, I'm going to DJ for my friends online. How did that all work?
Yeah, basically, we were all in lockdown in April 2020, and I turned 50, and Boris cancelled everybody's parties, didn't he, with all the restrictions. The whole country, and in fact, the whole world was going into strict lockdown, and which meant my garden party, which was for everybody to enjoy, got cancelled. So I had to invent something to mark this milestone birthday. So what I did is bought some decks, set the decks up in this living room that I'm sat in right now.
Had you ever done that? Had you ever done that before?
No, never. It was such a makeshift thing, honestly. It was. I look back and I think, how the hell did I stream like that? Because literally, I put a stand up on my tablet next to the decks, and I kept shouting on the mic, "Can you hear me all right? Can you hear me all right?" It was so amateur. But it worked. It worked. Everybody was new to this, scheme of going online, and then basically I just played some Ibiza tracks. My kids were on the other laptop watching what was going on Facebook Live when I was streaming, and everybody started tuning in, and and they said, "Hi, happy birthday," and it just went on from then. And then I had such a big following after an hour that I loved it. I got a massive adrenaline rush from it, and I thought, I'm going to do this every Friday. And I have, and I've continued with that, and it's called Funky Fridays.
But look, it's taken, so you do that, and you have a huge following for it, but you've gone beyond that, haven't you? I mean, you've been on the telly, you've been on national radio, you've won awards. Talk us through that.
Yeah, so basically lockdown finished, I got offered gigs, and basically it led to lots of opportunities for me to DJ at home, at corporate events, outside of Sheffield, Ibiza too. And then recently this year, it's just gone absolutely crazy in a good way. I was on BBC Look North. They had me on for their 6 o'clock show straight after the news. And basically, after that interview went, I got asked by the Times newspaper for an interview, which I did. And Catherine Baxi from the Law Supplement actually did a fantastic article about me. And then also BBC's Anita Rani from Bradford, who also is, very well known for doing Woman's Hour, interviewed me on her show for Woman's Hour, and then did a show on her own show at the BBC Radio 2.
I mean, it's mind-boggling. It couldn't happen to a nicer person. You're so enthusiastic, and this is something that you've just absolutely embraced. You couldn't have planned. There did come a point at which you had to tell your legal colleagues, there, wasn't there?
Oh gosh, yes. So I've kept both professions separate for a very, very long time. But then Look North, which covers Barnsley, South Yorkshire, and all the surrounding areas, I thought, everybody's going to see me now. I'm going to have to come out clean. So I emailed my line manager, my boss, and I said, "Stuart, I've got something to tell you." And he said, "What is it, coming?" I said, "I've just won an award at the Houses of Parliament, and BBC Look North are going to interview me." "An award? What for?" And I says, "Well, basically, in a nutshell, I started DJing in lockdown and I got an award for it." And he said, "What? You committing legal?"
Because they'll know you as Kavita, the fabulous lawyer who does all the complicated contracts and does all that, not Kavita with, in front of an audience of thousands of people.
No. And then one person said, "Do you mean a DJ, like a district judge?" I said, "No, like a disc jockey."
I think it's lovely. What's made you pursue it? Because, it takes up a lot of your time. Weekends are spent with it. You're about to go, and we'll talk about this in a minute, you're about to go off and effectively do a kind of a residency in Ibiza. Why have you followed it so with such enthusiasm?
Ben, it's Oh my God. I think for me, it gives me so much pleasure. First of all, I love music. You know, it's in my DNA. I come from a musical family. And then secondly, it's something that nobody can take away from me. You know, I've got this skill in me, which I want to share the music and bring joy to everybody else. And the third thing is it's created a community online and outside, you know. I get people now following me when I do events and festivals. You know, at the weekend I had a festival in just outside South Yorkshire near Barnsley, and there were people who said, "We're coming to see you, Kavita," you know, which is so nice. And I love that. I love to share the music with everybody else, and if it makes them happy, then it's a job accomplished for me. Absolutely.
Look, it's interesting you mentioned the sort of musical family. You absolutely do have a musical family. And, you know, your father interviewed him. Great privilege. Your dad is just the nicest man. You've got a lovely family. And he is well known. Mr. Vara would be well known to so many, sort of several generations of school kids in Leicester as teaching music. What does he make of it all?
Well, he absolutely are 100% so supportive and loving my journey. And I invited them to my first nightclub gig, which is called the Lead Mill. And they came along, Mum and Dad, with fingers stuck in their ears, like, "Oh, it's too loud, it's too..." I said, "Mum, it's a nightclub." They absolutely love it. They are hailing the journey and they are so supportive. And I think their biggest moment will be when I'm got my names in a big, like, neon lights, and they want to see that.
Well, talking of which, tell me about Ibiza. What's that? What's the deal with that then?
Yeah, so basically, I did my first trip in lockdown, and I went there to basically just to see the island because it's the island of house music. And I was drawn to it because of the musical influences I had and the love for that kind of music. So I went along and I didn't know anybody. And literally, when I arrived there, I just stayed in a hotel by myself and then had a car and toured around the island and discovered it, you know, met different people. And then I went back again and again and again. And I got gigs from it, you know, just through communication and contacts that I made. So, yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant. And I've enjoyed going back there so many times. It's been fantastic, and the people who I've met have been lovely and supportive. And it's going strength from strength.
And what I love about this, you're going across, you're coming back because your son gets his A-level results, and you're going back again.
Yes,
love it.
I know. I did. Yeah, because I've raised my children by myself. You know, for a very, very long time. I'm invested in them. I want to see those A-level results. So I'm going to come back and pick those A-level results with my son.
Kavita, you are an absolute breath of fresh air. You really are. What would you, if for somebody listening to this thinking, "Oh, I'm not sure if I should follow that dream or not," what would your message be?
I would say to anybody, you have to take everything 100% with commitment. Just go for it. Do it with passion, do it with conviction, set your goals, put goals on your walls, have photographs, manifest anything that you want to do. I tell you, it works. Believe in yourself, 100%.
What's the best thing about what you're doing now?
It's freedom of expression, of playing different music to every different kind of situation and different people around the world. That's the best thing. You know, you can't put a price on that, you know, because I could be 1 minute in Ibiza, then I could be in Manchester, or I could be somewhere else. You know, I've done several corporate gigs and I've met fantastic people like that. So every event is varied and fascinating.
Kavita, we will talk again. In fact, let's try and set it up so we can talk to you from Ibiza. That would be amazing. We could talk to you from your hotel bedroom in Ibiza, and let's do that and see how it's going down. If somebody's listening to this thinking, "Well, I'm going to Ibiza in July, August," where will they see you?
So hopefully I will put it all on my socials.
Okay.
But I'll be in San Antonio in Ibiza, and then obviously Botta as well in that area. So I'll put all the gig times and dates on my socials.
How will people find you online?
So they can follow me as DJ Kavita on Instagram, YouTube, Mixcloud, Twitch. I'm on all the platforms now, Ben.
Love it. I think you're right. Kavita, the best of luck. We'll talk really, really soon. Enjoy every second of it, and I can't wait to have you on the show again.
Oh, thank you, Ben, for having me. It was great to see you.
See you.
Bye.
Bye. You're listening to BBC Radio Leicester. She's amazing. Look, if you followed a dream and it's just beyond your wildest dreams, we would love to hear from you. Just call me 0808 100 1049.
single about is you.